Hey everyone, I just want to say happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. My father is actually in heaven, but I do want to say a happy Father's Day to a few folks in my life. That would be my two brothers who are wonderful fathers to my nieces and nephews. That's Hal and Brad. Happy Father's Day, you guys. And then to my son-in-law, John Ford, who is a wonderful father to my two grandbabies. And so those are some special fathers to me. Today's story is going to sort of lead into something that I got to do this week. The story that I want to tell is about when I was younger. We actually went camping several times when I was younger. One of the reasons being is because that was a pretty cheap vacation, and so my dad and mom took us camping a few times. And we really went camping. We roughed it. We slept in tents and took our own food, never went out to eat and those types of things. If we got to go and do anything, it was something that was free. So this time in our life, we actually went camping to one of the national forests here in Arkansas. Arkansas has a lot of beautiful natural forest. National forest here in Arkansas, and so my parents took advantage of that. We and I can't remember which one it was, but we were going to go camping at one of these forests. We get there and it was pretty late at night. It was dark, and we had to, of course, take the time to set the tent up and that type of thing. But the bad thing was it was pouring down rain. I mean, pouring. So my dad decides he's going to get out and he's going to put the tent up while we wait in the car for him, right? And so he's trying to hold the flashlight and get the tent up. And it wasn't like these tents today where you just take the tent, my son has a little two-person tent. You sort of just throw it out there and it pops up itself, right? No, it was one of those tents that had the poles. Of course you had to put the stakes in the ground and then the pole fit on top of the stake. But the bad thing was that this tent had a whole bunch of different size stakes, so you had to sort of sort them out and look at them and try to figure out which pole went where, all that kind of thing. So my dad's trying to do this in the pouring rain. I mean pouring. And so he decides that he's finally going to give up on the tent. And it was a long way back there. I remember that. And so he finally gets in the car, slams the car door, and he's like, there's no going to be sleeping in the tent tonight. He said, everybody's going to sleep in the car. And of course, we're just like wide-eyed because he's mad, And so then it's time to bunk down and try to get comfortable, 6 people in this big old Pontiac. So my parents are going to sleep in the front seat, and then us 4 kids are going to sleep in the back. So what happens is, one kid sleeps in the seat and a kid in each of the wells in the back seat, right? And then one kid in the back window. Now, you can imagine how hot and steamy it gets in this car. It's pouring down rain, right? So it's cooler outside. And then all these people breathing in the car, windows start to fog up. It starts to get really sticky and muggy in the car. Everybody's cranky. We finally all fall asleep and we get a decent night's sleep, okay? So then the next day, Dad gets up, of course, and it's not raining anymore, and he gets the tent put up, and then we finish our trip with this tent. So here's the deal. What I wanted to talk about is when you go camping now, a lot of times you don't go camping. My kids call it glamping. In other words, this weekend, or not this weekend, but the latter part of this week, we went glamping. My brother Hal loans us his camper, and Mimi and the 2 grandbabies sleep in the camper, and then the other kids sleep in the tent, right? Now, what I want to do is I just want to share just a little bit of our trip with you this weekend. Now, of course, this is not a funny story or anything, but sometimes we need to be still, right? Have you ever just gotten so just work just bogs you down, those types of things? And sometimes it's just we need to get away and we need to be still, okay? Maybe you're still in your kitchen in the morning. Maybe you're still out on your porch. Maybe you're still at, your desk when you're studying your Bible, those types of things. But the Bible tells us to be still and know that I am God. And so this week we actually took a little trip to Greer's Ferry, and we went to Devil's Fork, which is a little camping park there, and we camped. And so I want to share a little bit of that with you. So here we are set up at the campground. Look how beautiful it is. I mean, we were right on the water. One of the reasons being is because it's actually flooded up there right now. So my brother set the camper right there. All the guys got to do a little fishing. And of course, with the water being close, very convenient.
See if we can get out of here.
One of the verses I want to share with you is in Psalms chapter 19, verse 1. It says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." So one of the things while you're out camping is it makes me think about God and everything that he's created and just the beauty of it. It was gorgeous there. We got to sit around the fire in the morning. Notice the grandbabies hanging in the hammock there. While we were sitting there in the morning, you can see the geese coming up to our campsite. I mean, we had just got up.
Get away.
There's a verse that also talks about the things that moveth in the water, even praising the Lord. Here's the grandbabies looking at the geese. Trying to explain to them that they can actually hurt them. They're still in their PJs. Perfect little picture there. We also sit around the fire at night. Here we are.
What's that truck for?
Lord, I don't know, girl.
Oh, there we go.
It's like all of a sudden the flame left. Ah!
Heather's about to lose her dog.
No, I already lost one. It's gone. I mean, it's like right in the middle of the...
It's okay. If you stab it, there's
You ain't
water,
getting
you
that
can rinse it off.
No. That one's gone. But, yeah, oh yeah, that's goner. Now it looks appropriately.
Another one of those things we got
What
to
you
do
got?
is to sit in the hammock.
A pretzel? Okay, thank you. Oh, two of them. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Grandbaby bringing the snacks. Lots of hammock sleeping. They actually slept in the hammocks one night. Then lots of sitting around, just talking and eating and having a good time. Just taking it easy, being still.
The water's over there back to you.
So as you go about your week, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to remember just to be still sometimes and listen to God and know Him. Sometimes you have to take time out of your schedule to be still. So this summer, as you do that, enjoy your time. And remember to point to Him. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.